What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 833 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo to hopefully get your week started off on the right foot, get it started off on the left foot, and then you're walking down that road to victory. We got a loaded show. We're going to talk Phils and just a very disappointing opening series to start the season. But I've got a fun spin zone to help us cope. And then we're going to talk about the madness because we had some madness go down tonight with UConn and Duke. We've got a Final Four, so we'll talk about that. We will also talk the initial Platinum Plunk standings, as we will every single Monday. We'll keep an update on those. And if you're new to the show, the Platinum Plunk is who's leading Major League Baseball and our Philadelphia Phillies in the hit-by-pitch category throughout the entire season. And then we will also discuss the Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia 76ers. Are they giving us false hope? The Flyers are 2 points out of a playoff spot. Are they giving us false hope? We'll talk about all of it. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. We're on social everywhere. Please follow us. It helps the show continue to grow, helps us get more ears and eyes on the people. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow. It helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire catalog of podcasts here at Underground Industries. So please continue subscribing on Apple and Spotify. Help the show continue to grow there. And leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And, of course, guys, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show of our original 6 on the network. And then all of our other shows that you may not see, they are down in the collab tab. So check those out, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. We're at 1,273 subscribers. Can we get to 1,300 sooner rather than later? Let's make that happen. youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Let's get into it, everybody. Let's get into it. The Philadelphia Phillies drop the season opening series to the Texas Rangers. They lose the series 2-1. They win opening day, proceed to lose the following two in very just not fun fashion. This was a very winnable series for this team had they just remembered how to hit a baseball, especially on Saturday when the game was in hand. And I've talked to a bunch of people about this, and I've seen a bunch of people talking about this on their own. Your starting pitcher giving up 3 runs should not be a nail in the coffin for your team. Being down 3-0 for this lineup on paper should not be just an automatic, all right, chalk it up, it's done, we can't win. That's what it felt like for most of Saturday's game. But we'll start with Thursday's game because we have not spoken since the season got started, and the Phillies won that game, so it's fun to talk about wins. Solid win to start the season. Home runs help you win. When you hit the long ball, you win baseball games. Kyle Schwarber, 2-run home run. Alec Boehm, 3-run home run. And then the Rangers score 3 runs off of Kyle Backus, and you had to use Joan Duran to close out the game. But Christopher Sanchez, 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 10 strikeouts, gets the win. Jonathan Bolin, solid debut. Zach Pop, we'll talk about him later. Kyle Backus, not an ideal introduction to the city of Philadelphia. Pitches a third of an inning, gives up 3 runs, and then you have to use your closer. For the first time, Joan Duran pitched during the day in a Phillies uniform, so that was a little history there. But opening day, for the most part, you got contributions up and down the lineup. Trey Turner gave you 2 hits and scored 2 runs. Kyle Schwarber obviously hit that home run. Bryce Harper, we'll talk about him in a moment. Alec Boehm had the 3-run home run and also walked on opening day. Bryson Stott, 2 for 4. He looked great. Adolis Garcia went 0 for on opening day. Brandon Marsh, 2 for 4. JT, 0 for 3. And Justin Crawford went 2 for 4 and scored a run. And he looked awesome in his debut. That's how you win, though. That's how you win in Major League Baseball. And it's not a foreign concept to understand that. If your entire lineup is producing, you can have moments in a game like that where Bryce Harper and JT and Adolis Garcia don't do anything, but you're getting contributions from the rest of the lineup. That's what this team needs. You can't have more than 2/3 of the lineup going cold and just relying on this elite starting pitching staff to be the thing that holds it down. They're not perfect. They're going to make mistakes. That is when you, as the multi-million-dollar hitters, have to step up and provide offense for this team. This offense should not be struggling the way that it is to score runs. You scored 5 runs on opening day, and then you scored 4 runs in a unfortunate, rally that fell just short on Saturday, and then you muster up 3 runs on Sunday. Not great. Not a great offensive performance when your opponent scores 3 runs and then 5, and then they score 8 on Sunday because they're hitting the long ball. This Phillies team has guys that can hit home runs, and they're not hitting home runs outside of opening day. The offense was anemic. It was pull your hair out frustrating to watch this team just get mowed down by subpar pitching, get mowed down by a pitcher that you have faced time and time again in Mackenzie Gore from his time with the Washington Nationals. It's not like he's some unknown entity. You know him very well. You're out there swinging at junk balls, just trying to be heroes, and that has been the issue with this Phillies team since losing in the NLCS in 2023, every single guy in that lineup, for the most part, there are a few exceptions to this rule, but it feels like everyone is just trying to play hero ball when all you have to do is just put the ball in play. The home runs will come. You don't need to swing for the fences every single time. The home runs will come as the weather warms up. That's just a natural progression of the ball carrying out of the stadium. Just put the ball in play. That's what Bryson Stott did this entire series. Had a great series. Brandon Marsh with his opportunities, put the ball in play. Justin Crawford put the ball in play, and you saw results. You saw results on opening day when guys put the ball in play. It happened. You can't have these big, swing hack type of at-bats and expect to go out and perform. Outside of opening day, Trey Turner's at-bats were horrendous. Kyle Schwarber's at-bats had me, wondering, what the hell was wrong with Kyle's approach. I just couldn't believe it. It looked like 2022 Kyle Schwarber, and that's not a bad thing, but I'd much rather have the Kyle Schwarber that's hitting 240 and hitting 56 home runs than the Kyle Schwarber that's hitting 165 and hitting, 47 home runs. I want a complete package Kyle Schwarber in my lineup. Bryce Harper, not a great series. His best game probably was on Sunday when he worked counts and got on base and stood on, the moniker that he wants to walk more. Drew 2 walks on Sunday. Alec Boehm, I thought, had a pretty quality series. Saturday's game was not his best until he started the rally. Unfortunately, also ended the rally, but I thought Alec Boehm, for the most part, had a great series. Hit the home run on Thursday. Saturday, what was his final stat line? He went 1 for 5, but the one hit was a huge one. It got everything going late in the game. It was your top 3 guys, especially from Saturday's game, you can't go 1 for 15 combined and 6 strikeouts, and 4 of them being from Kyle Schwarber. Bryce Harper gets a broken bat hit in that game, too, and that saves them from going 0 for 15. That can't happen. You can't combine 2 for 20 from your top 4 guys in the lineup. Just not a good offensive series for the Phillies, and I get it. It's March. Baseball probably shouldn't be starting until April. But guess what? This year it started in March. These games matter. It's a 162-game season. I get that. But, you want to see, progress. And it felt like as the games went on, this Phillies team against the Texas Rangers, who give them fits, and I don't understand why we're playing interleague baseball to start the season. I don't like that. It's kind of lame. Why are we not starting against a division rival? That's how it should be. Get the juices flowing. The NL East became the first division in Major League Baseball history to have every single team start 1-0. That's crazy to me. But that's typically because normally the Mets and the Braves are playing each other, or the Phillies and the Nationals are playing each other, or the Marlins and the Mets are playing each other, and you have some sort of interdivision rivalry matchup going on opening day. That's how it should be. Opening day, the Phillies should be playing the Mets. The Phillies should be playing the Braves. And just muster up all the fandom hatred right off the rip. I don't know why we don't start off against rivals like that. And I get, you play fewer games against your division now with the whole interleague schedule all the time. But I just, starting against an American League team is weird to me. And in 2023, the Phillies started off against the Rangers. It was not ideal then either. But as Jeff Kerr pointed out on Twitter, I believe it was Jeff, the last time the Phillies opened their season against the Texas Rangers and had a pretty rough start, that was also the last season that they won a playoff series. So a little half full glass approach there, but yeah, not a great series. I think the series MVP for the Phillies is Alec Boehm. I thought he had the best series of any player that played all 3 games. as a position player. Christopher Sanchez obviously was phenomenal. I don't think Aaron Nola pitched all that poorly either. And, I went back and looked at some of the pitches. You're not going to challenge everything with ABS, which I'll talk about ABS, seeing it in person because I was at all 3 games. Aaron Nola only giving up 3 runs in 5 innings. He gave you 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. I think one of those walks should not have happened because 2 of the pitches during one of them, they were on the plate. He only gave up 5. Like, he did not pitch poorly. For a guy who struggles in cold weather, I was, fine with the performance that Aaron Nola gave you. It was just the offense didn't give you anything until late. And then, things kind of got wonky towards the end. And, Joan Duran had to pitch out of the stretch. And it was very evident he was not comfortable doing so. And then you had a wild pitch that scored a run in extra innings. But, the fact that the Phillies rallied in that Saturday game, and it was it was guys that aren't your multi-million-dollar players. It was Alec Boehm started it. You had Brandon Marsh hit the game-tying RBI to come in. Adolis Garcia got extremely lucky that Jake Berger is wildly fat and tripped over his feet and fell on his face. Not once, but twice, and that's the reason he ended up on base. His former teammate just losing the ball twice, and that's how he got on base on Saturday. And he got an opportunity to not have the game end on a pop-up that was just he shouldn't have swung at that ball at all. And then he rips a gorgeous double down the line for his first hit in a Phillies uniform. But then, the rest of the game, that extra innings, you can't have mistakes happen. And mistakes happened, and then it's just more pressure on the guys who were not performing, and that's your hitters. Your hitters were not coming through in the clutch. And by hitters, I mean the guys that are at the top of the lineup. Your Trey Turners, your Kyle Schwarbers, your Bryce Harpers did not pull through in ways that you needed them to, and you lose a 1-run game that was very winnable. And then you fast forward to Sunday, and it was just demise from the beginning. Again, you get crushed by the home run ball. That absolute dork Brandon Nimmo hits a home run, who got booed to the high heavens this week, rightfully so. Just remember, Brandon Nimmo sleeps with his socks on. Andrew McCutchen hits a 3-run home run and apologizes to a fan for hitting the home run. Andrew McCutchen absolutely torched the Phillies this series. He had a hit in every game. He's hitting .444 to start the year, get him the Wendy's sponsorship. But again, that's the thing. And I love Andrew McCutchen, but the Phillies should not have a 39-year-old Andrew McCutchen absolutely destroying them. Corey Seager walked, had an RBI in this game, scored a run. Some weird, stuff from the umpires today too. Ezekiel Duran hits a grounder. He gets the ball. The Phillies throw him out at first, and then there's a meeting of the minds on the field, and then it's ruled a foul ball, and then he just ropes an RBI double, and the Rangers score another run, and it just killed all the momentum. Mackenzie Gore, you scored the 2 runs on him, and then they end up pulling him after 5 1/3. He had 7 strikeouts on you. You get after Carter Baumler a little bit. You scored a run on him. He walked 4 guys in an inning and 2/3. But again, Trey Turner today, 1 walk. That walk was huge, but 0 for 4. Scored a run, but 0 for 4. Kyle Schwarber, 1 for 4. Bryce Harper, 0 for 2, 2 walks. Probably his best game of the series because he got on base. He's got to be better, though. Bryce has to be better. I'm going to pull up Bryce Harper, and I know it's 3 games. But Bryce Harper and the caliber of player he is should not be hitting .091 to start a season. That can't happen. Kyle Schwarber, the type of player he is, cannot be hitting .154 to start the season. Trey Turner, the caliber of player he is, cannot be hitting .154 as a leadoff man to start the season. And I don't care where he's hitting. He can't be hitting .154. Alec Boehm can't be hitting 200 to start the season. Adolis Garcia, 091. The Phillies as a team hit 183 this series. It is their lowest combined team batting average to start a season in an opening series since 2015. Like, that's growth. Think back to the 2015 Phillies and think about what this team is. They should not even be mentioned in the same breath. And yet here we are. JT Realmuto hitting 111. It just can't happen. Like, Justin Crawford has the best batting average of any player that played all 3 days. He's hitting 333. He was phenomenal this series. Both offensively and defensively, I was like, he's as advertised. And we said that all spring training. Steve and I talked about it on our season preview episode, that we've even got Mets fans believing in Justin Crawford. He's as advertised. And we said he's going to have struggles. Like, he's a rookie. He's a 22-year-old rookie. It's going to happen. But the fact that he performed this way to start his career is pretty damn awesome. I was thrilled. He made an unbelievable catch in the outfield on Saturday. My jaw hit the ground. I couldn't believe it. That was a tough play, and for him to come up with that ball, no problem. I was like, he's got it. He's one of them ones. I was very impressed with Justin Crawford this series. Edmundo Sosa was phenomenal defensively on Sunday. Provided a ton of spark to kind of just end rallies for Texas. He was very good, which, like, I feel like he always is. Him and Bryson Stott are a great tandem with the lefty-righty matchup, and Bryson Stott came in and pinch hit today, drove in a run. He was awesome again. The Otto Kemp experiment in left field is off to a rousing start. That was not fun. And I like Otto Kemp, okay? I think he's a quality player. He's a major league player. He's not a left fielder. They need to expedite teaching him the intricacies of reading a pitch in the air, because I could not believe the lack of awareness that was there for Otto on two plays. That one of them, most certainly, Brandon Marsh makes the play. And that's just from experience and him being a natural outfielder. But I was just, it cost the Phillies runs. Like, those are the types of things that, yes, to the naked eye, the plays where the ball gets hit to Otto Kemp, those are hits for sure. But when you break it down, one of them, if not both, because of the misread, should be errors. Like, those are errors on Otto Kemp because he misread the ball and did not play it well. Those are errors. But they won't be recorded as that because Major League Baseball doesn't want to record errors for anything anymore. Adolis Garcia with an absolute... I thought he, like, popped his Achilles because he just fell down and went boom. Like, he was the complete opposite of those toys Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. He weebled, wobbled, and fell down. And lost a ball in the sun. Just fell in slow motion that I genuinely thought, like, he hurt himself. And that's why he fell. And I was like, how? This guy's a Gold Glove caliber right fielder. And he lost the ball in the sun with sunglasses on. It was just one thing after another in this series. Jesus Luzardo, not a rousing start to the Team Cy Young campaign that I have him on. Again, the long ball will kill you. 6 earned runs, all of them off of the home run. 5 of the 6. The 6th one was the Adolis Garcia snafu. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Strikeouts were there. His sweeper was off in this game for Luzardo. Every one of the sweepers that he threw, it was just not ideal. It did not have any good break to it. Where, like, Nola's breaking stuff was not bad. outside of the one pitch he threw to Jake Berger. That Berger ripped to the foul pole. That was a home run. Everything else that Nola threw off speed was pretty solid. Christopher Sanchez was obviously dialed. But Luzardo's sweeper, which is supposed to be like his money off speed pitch, just was not there today. I don't know if that was because of the cold, the wind, what have you. It just did not feel like he had a good grip for that sweeper today, and it cost him. It cost him a ton. Because I think the Nimmo home run, if I'm remembering correctly, was on a sweeper. I think the McCutchen home run was on a sweeper, so he's got to figure that out. Zach Pop. I need a Ryan Kerkering back on this team. I need a Ryan Kerkering. I need that hamstring to be ready. I need him good to go. I know he made an appearance in Lehigh Valley this weekend. He was hitting 97 on the radar gun. That's a great sign. We need a Ryan Kerkering back in this bullpen because good grief. Zach Pop is just not it, and you can tell why he has not been sustainable on Major League bullpens over the years. Just not a good performance from the new Philadelphia Philly. And I mean, you look at where Zach Pop has been. Like, he pitched in 1 game for the Mets last year, and then he was gone. He pitched in 4 games for the Mariners last year, and he was gone. The guy has not been good since 2022. He had a 6.59 ERA in 2023, 5.59 in 2024, and a combined 14.85 ERA in 2025. He doesn't got it. He's not good. He's not good. He's not good, Jim. He's not good. I've seen enough Zach Pop to last me a lifetime. Just from this weekend alone, I cannot wait for a Ryan Kerkering to be back because Zach Pop, he got to go. Get him out. Brad Keller, quality debut on Sunday. I was impressed with his stuff. Clean inning. Tim Meza was solid in his relief appearance. And, yeah, not the series you wanted to see from our Philadelphia Phillies to start the year. Because, of course, you're going to have the people who are just Eagles fans or just football fans doing the whole comparison shtick, and it's going to drive us all crazy. Reminder, is this thing on? Reminder. Testing 1 2. Is this thing on? Testing, check. Baseball is not football. Let me repeat. Baseball is not football. There are 17 games in a football season. There's very little margin for error. There are 162 games in a season for baseball. You're gonna lose some games. Is it not ideal to lose in the opening series to kind of set the tone? Sure. But you are bound to lose some games. Now they need to bounce back against a bad Nationals team this week, and we'll feel a little wabi-sabi, okay? But we were bound to lose some games. They should have won on Saturday, won the series, and we would be in a completely different driver's seat right now than we are. You know, right now we're like across the pond driving on the other side of the road. We need to get back to driving on our side of the road and figure some things out against the Nationals. But again, it's March. Like, March is traditionally still spring training. It's 3 games of a 162-game season. Doing a little math here. In terms of percentage of where we are, we have played, haven't even played 2% of the schedule yet. Haven't even played 2% of the schedule yet. We are 1% in. It's not ideal that we're 1-2. It's not ideal that every other team in the division won their series against their respective opponents. But This team they'll hit. They got to figure things out at the top of the lineup. That's the big whole shadow of this. Trey Turner's got to hit at the top of the lineup. Kyle Schwarber's got to hit. Bryce Harper's got to hit. And if those three are not producing and you're relying on Bohm to Crawford, that's not a winning formula. You need everyone to contribute. And hopefully that gets fixed against the Nationals. I think it's Taijuan Walker will be pitching on Monday. Andrew Painter will be pitching on Tuesday. I'll be there for his debut. Looking forward to that. And then on Wednesday, it'll be Christopher Sanchez to close things out. That's the other thing. Like, you've got to win these games when your big dogs are not pitching. So on Monday, when Taijuan Walker's on the mound, which it was already announced, Rob Thompson talked about it pregame, Rafael Marchand will be catching on Monday because he didn't want JT catching 4 straight games. I'm totally fine with that. Let Rafael Marchand be Taijuan's kind of designated catcher for the time being. I'm totally fine with that. And then let JT catch Painter. But you got to win the Taijuan Walker games. You got to win the Andrew Painter games now. And close things out with Christopher Sanchez on Wednesday before you go on a road trip. Who do the Phillies go to? And then you go to Colorado. If the bats don't wake up in Colorado, we have a problem. That's when I'll be wildly frustrated. You need to sweep in Colorado and kind of get the bats going, because then you go to San Francisco, and that place is an absolute house of horrors for the Philadelphia Phillies. So you need to build a little bit of good grace and start hitting the baseball against the Washington Nationals, start hitting the baseball against the Colorado Rockies, and have like 6 games of goodwill of offense before you go to San Francisco and we inevitably pull our hair out with Phillies After Dark on a Monday, Tuesday, and then a 3:45 start on Wednesday, and we're like, how did we get here? What is this? And you know, we all know how it will go out in San Francisco. Harrison Bader is going to punch us in the teeth one of those games. That's just what happens to this organization, and that's what happens when we go to San Francisco. So you combine the two, it's a match made in hell for us. Okay, that's just what I'm fully anticipating, is Harrison Bader's going to have some walk-off type hit or some game-sealing catch in the outfield, and it's going to drive us all crazy. And then you come back home for a weekend series against the Diamondbacks, and then the Cubs come to town, and then the Braves come to town. So you'll be back home before you know it, but you got to build some goodwill with the bats. Top of the lineup has to hit. They cannot have a series like they did against the Texas Rangers. The entire lineup needs to improve, and your pitchers cannot give up the long ball the way that they did. That is, it sounds very easy on paper, and I know it's not easy in reality. But these guys need to hit. That is the end-all, be-all. If this team starts to hit, things will level out. Pitching just needs to be better picking their spots. And we can't be throwing Zach Pop out there every fucking game. Can't do it. Just can't do it. Before we keep it pushing, I want to talk to you guys about our friends over at 47. Guys, 47 is an apparel and lifestyle brand made for the fan. I'm rocking the Pomona Hitch right now with the powder blue and maroon. I'm rocking a brand new hoodie from 47. Absolutely love this little guy, this little bell mascot. 47, I'm literally on their website every day. I'm sending stuff to people all the time from 47. They just dropped a brand new collection, and let me tell you, the Elevated Greens collection, this little duck mascot that they got on these, I can't get enough of this guy. I love this logo. I am 1,000% copping this hat. I'm probably going to cop the shirt as well because I can't get enough of this little duck guy. He's the man. You know, the big Masters event is coming up before we know it. Make sure when that is. Yeah, the Masters will be here before we know it in a couple weeks. We'll have Stevie Mack back on the show to preview that, but gear up for the Masters by repping your favorite team. 47's the place to do it. Use our link in the description. Check out the Elevated Greens collection, the brand new Stony Clover Lane collection with 47 for your favorite baseball teams. They obviously have the Grandstand collection, the 47 Rawlings crossover collab. You can still get stuff for the NCAA tournament. The U.S. Soccer capsule is live as well. There's no better way to rep your favorite team than with our friends at 47. Use the link in the description. Shop with 47 and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. That is their version of a rewards program. You get points for every purchase you make, and those points go towards free gear. And I don't know about you guys, but if it's free, it's for me. So use our link in the description, shop with 47, get free shipping on all orders, check out the Stony Clover Lane collection, the Elevated Greens collection, and so much more. With our friends at 47, we thank them for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia and the official headwear partner of Underground Industries. Looking ahead, the Nationals coming to town, obviously. We'll have 3 games against them. We'll recap the series on Thursday's episode because I'll be recording on Wednesday. But the Nationals coming to town, and I believe the pitching matchups, it'll be Taijuan Walker, Andrew Painter making that debut on Tuesday, obviously, and then it'll be Christopher Sanchez on Wednesday. But I want to see who's pitching for the Nationals. On Monday, it will be Taijuan Walker against Foster Griffin. Never heard of this guy in my life. Holy cow, this guy pitched in 2020 and then 2 teams in 2022. And he's now back in the majors. He's pitched 7 career games. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott, Adolis Garcia, JT Realmuto, Brandon Marsh, Justin Crawford. If you all are somehow listening, which I hope you are, if you don't tee off on Foster Griffin on Monday night, no offense to Mr. Griffin. Also, let it be known, his real first name is Fred. If your bats are not going yabba dabba doo on this guy, we've got a problem. We've got a real problem. Fred has pitched 7 career games. He's got a career 6.75 ERA. There's one of 2 outcomes that is going to happen to this team. They absolutely tee off on this guy, or Foster Griffin is going to throw a fucking perfect game against us. There's no in between. Look what happened on Saturday when Jacob deGrom got scratched and Jacob Latz came in. They should have called him Jacob Necks because that boy's neck was longer than Littlefoot. And we were getting no hit for almost 5 innings. We got no hit today for 5 innings against Mackenzie Gore. If they don't tee off on Fred Griffin, I will be distraught. Fred Griffin against Taijuan Walker. Then it'll be Andrew Painter against To Be Determined. And then it will be Christopher Sanchez against Cade Cavalli. Was he with the Nationals last year? Yeah, he's always been with them. Okay. This is a series the Phillies should, number one, they should sweep this series with the pitching matchups that the Nationals are throwing out there. And they should absolutely be giving everyone a preview of what the home run derby is going to look like in July. Hands down. This is a must-win series. As early on as possible in a Major League season, with who you're facing on the mound and in the ultimate get-right spot after a very disappointing opening series, you need to tee off on these Nationals pitchers. Fred Griffin. It sounds like a NPC in MLB The Show. Fred Foster Griffin. I'm gonna be calling him Fred while I'm watching the game on Monday night. I will be yelling if we are not teeing off on Fred. Figure it out, boys. Figure it out. But looking at the MLB standings and looking at the run differentials, because that's what we love to do on this show. We do this every year. If you're brand new to the show, we always look at the MLB run differentials to start the season, see where things are at. And then as the season progresses, that kind of tells us where every team is kind of looking at that point in the season. Are they pitching well? Are they hitting well? Are they doing neither? Run differential and score differential is one of my favorite stats in sports, and it really shows you kind of where you're doing well and where you're struggling. If you have a pretty poor score differential, chances are you're not pitching well. Chances are you're not playing good defense. So we look at the run differentials across the board. Whenever we have a guest on, we have them guess the run differentials, and it's a lot of fun. We've been doing this for, I think this is our 5th year doing this. So we'll see where things shake out. And then obviously we look at the runs surrendered, because we always want, for the teams that are just deplorably bad, we finally hit one last year with the Colorado Rockies. They surrendered over 1,000 runs. First time this century that has happened. 3rd time in my lifetime that happened. We will be on 1,000 run watch again this year for the Colorado Rockies and any other team that decides to join them. But looking at the run differentials and the MLB standings after opening weekend, the Miami Marlins are 3-0. They're in first place. Kudos to the Marlins bringing back the teal jerseys, by the way. I never want to, give a shout to a division rival. But the Marlins are so out of focus compared to the Braves and the Mets for me. Those teal jerseys, those should have always been the Marlins jerseys. They look absolutely beautiful. Kudos to the Marlins for bringing those back. The Marlins are 3-0. They have a +3 run differential. They scored 10 runs in their opening series, surrendered just 7, and they are in first place. The New York Mets are 2-1. They scored 18 runs in their opening series, surrendered 13. They have a +5 score differential. The Washington Nationals are 2-1. They scored 18 runs as well. They surrendered 17. They're at a +1 score differential. The Atlanta Braves are 2-1. They scored 13 runs, surrendered 6 for a +7 score differential. And then our Philadelphia Phillies, everyone, 1-2 in last place in the division. We scored 12 runs, surrendered 16, and we're the only team in the division with a negative run differential at -4. Looking across the rest of the National League, the Brewers with the best run differential in the National League at a +19. The Cardinals, Reds, and Cubs are all at -1, and the Pirates are at -5. The Dodgers are at a +8. The Padres are at a -6. The Diamondbacks at a -8. The Colorado Rockies just at a -3. And the San Francisco Giants, a brutal start to the season for them. They scored 1 run against the New York Yankees in a 3-game series, surrendered 13, and have a -12 score differential. In the American League, the Toronto Blue Jays at the top, they're 3-0. Exciting series against the Athletics. Like the A's brought them to the brink every game, and the Blue Jays just found a way to bounce back. They scored 16 runs, surrendered 11. They're at a +5. The Yankees at a +12 score differential. The Orioles, they're even Steven, everybody. They have a 0 score differential. The Tampa Bay Rays scored 23 runs in their opening series. They have a +1 score differential. And the Boston Red Sox at a +1, even though they are 1-2 in the AL East. The Tigers, 2-1, +6 score differential. The Cleveland Guardians, a -9 score differential. They sit at 2-2. The Minnesota Twins are 1-2. They have a even Steven 0 score differential. Kansas City Royals, -7. Chicago White Sox, a -19. Worst score differential in baseball right now. The Texas Rangers are at a +4. The Angels at a +3. The Houston Astros at a -3. The Mariners are at a +9. And the Oakland A's, yes, we call them the Oakland A's in this house, they're at a -5 on the score differential front. So those are your score differentials through the opening weekend for Major League Baseball. And as we continue MLB stats and info, or as I like to call it, underground stats and info on this show, it's Platinum Plunk standings time, everybody. The Platinum Plunk Award is our way of keeping track of pitchers of hitters, I should say, who are willing to just put their bodies on the line and take one for the team. Just like our good comrade and soon-to-be Phillies Wall of Famer Chase Utley once did back in the day. So we keep track of the teams who are leading the hit-by-pitch category, and that is their batters, not their pitchers. The individual player in Major League Baseball, and then the Phillies leader. And those are who your Platinum Plunk standings kind of reflect. Right now, your leaders in the clubhouse for the National League and the American League, there's a tie in the American League. Two guys have been hit by 2 pitches so far, and that is Brendan Donovan, which, of course, it's the Seattle Mariners, and Brian Rocchio from the Cleveland Guardians. They both have been hit by 2 pitches. And then the overall leader and the National League leader, Connor Norby from the Miami Marlins, has been hit by 3 pitches in 3 games this season. My man is on pace to get hit by 162 pitches this year, and that, let me tell you, that just sounds painful. Getting hit by 162 pitches, you will have bruises and welts the size of planets if that happened. That would be absolutely painstakingly horrible. I hope that's not the case for Connor Norby, but that's what he's on pace for right now, having been hit by 3 pitches so far this season. Your team standings in the hit-by-pitch category. Right now, the Miami Marlins leading the way with 4. The Cleveland Guardians, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Philadelphia Phillies, and Seattle Mariners have all been hit by 3 pitches as a team collectively. The Red Sox, Astros, Dodgers, Minnesota Twins, New York Mets, and Washington Nationals have been hit by 2 pitches apiece. Orioles, Rockies, Tigers, Royals, Yankees, Pirates, Giants, Rangers, and Blue Jays have all been hit by 1. And then still hit by pitchless, the Diamondbacks, the Oakland A's, the Atlanta Braves, Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, Cincinnati Reds, Milwaukee Brewers, San Diego Padres, St. Louis Cardinals, and the Tampa Bay Rays. And then if we take a look at the Philadelphia Phillies leader, if we go to players, where do we find the Phillies? It is Alec Boehm, Otto Kemp. Well, let me sort it by team. No, it will not. Let's go National League. Alec Boehm, Otto Kemp, and J.G. Real Muto are your 3 Phillies who have been hit by a pitch so far this season. So we keep track of that all year long. We hand out the monthly awards, and then at the end of the year, we will see who takes home the prize of the Platinum Plunk Award in Major League Baseball as a team, as a player, and as a Philadelphia Philly. So there you have it for the Plunk standings. All of that brought to you by Underground Stats and Info, brought to you by Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores, convenience stores, and grocery stores in those markets. Just use the Kenny Finder to see who has Kenwood Beer available in your area. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Let's move to the madness. Underground madness. I can't believe the tournament is almost over. We have a Final Four. Some craziness went down tonight. Just a wild way that the bracket has broken. Our final four: Arizona and Michigan on one side of the bracket. And then on the other side, UConn and Illinois are your final four. So it's Arizona, Michigan, UConn, Illinois. A 1, a 1, a 2, and a 3 headed to the final four in Indianapolis. Michigan kind of steamrolled everyone in their way to get to the final four. They demolished Howard in the opening round, demolished St. Louis, demolished Alabama in that second half, absolutely steamrolled Tennessee. And they have a date with Arizona, who has just been wildly consistent. They destroyed Long Island, took down Utah State, steamrolled Arkansas, took down Purdue, and now find themselves in the Final Four. UConn, who I got a chance to see live in Philly when they took on Furman. They took down Furman and escaped a little bit of trouble there. Absolutely wiped the floor with UCLA. They escape Michigan State, and then they escape Duke. The madness of that game. Just an absolute crazy sequence of events. All Duke had to do was hold the ball, and they'd be playing in this Final Four. UConn hit the buzzer beater with .3, I think it was, as I pull up the clip here. UConn Huskies. This is great podcasting. I understand that. Just an insane game. And what a photo of Braylon Mullins. .3 on the clock. And just an absolute gutsy shot. It goes in. They take the 1-point lead. And UConn send the overall number 1 seed Duke Blue Devils home. Gotta say, it feels good when Duke loses. Duke is the equivalent to the Yankees. They are the equivalent to the Cowboys. They are the equivalent to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are the equivalent to, name your basketball team, whether it's the Lakers, the Celtics, the whomever. It just feels good when Duke loses. Like, they do not, they don't deserve any type of happiness. I can't stand that team. So UConn advanced, and then Illinois, the lowest seed to make it out. They steamrolled Penn. They took down VCU. They shocked Houston, and then they steamrolled Iowa in the Elite Eight to make it to the Final Four. Crazy games. It's going to be a fun Final Four over the weekend. 2 games at 6:09 and 8:49 on April 4th. So on Saturday. And then the championship will be on Monday night. We should have a stream for that, depending on my schedule and everyone else's schedule. But I think we should be streaming the national championship. I'll be making that known on social media, whether we are or not. We should stream the Final Four, too. But crazy games. That UConn-Duke game was like everything you want from March Madness. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable game. Looking at the Underground Madness Bracket Challenge standings. I said it a couple episodes ago. Say it again, because now we're in Final Four territory. If your bracket is not a name that I can look up on social media to reach out to you, you are ineligible to win the bracket challenge. Luckily, it feels like most of the people who are still alive, because looking at the group forecast, Trevor Perkins, who is leading right now, Asher Barzy right behind. GKGKG. You're still alive, but you need to change your handle there. But right now, Trevor Perkins is in the driver's seat as long as Arizona wins. Trevor Perkins in this bracket challenge. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Just 10 picks wrong for Trevor Perkins. Had a perfect Elite Eight, has a perfect Final Four in terms of who advanced. And now he needs UConn and Arizona to go to the national championship. Does Trevor Perkins? Does Trevor Perkins follow us on Twitter? Let's see if this person even exists. Trevor Perkins. I'm assuming it's this person here because they've at least tweeted about basketball. I don't know. Trevor Perkins, you're in the driver's seat right now, though, in the Underground Madness Bracket Challenge. CFO Margie lost her champion with Duke, but she is in the driver's seat unless Arizona wins. Then Owen would be the overall winner for the company. I didn't finish too bad. 17th place right now. Do I have any of my Final Four? Arizona, Michigan. I had. And I had UConn. I almost had a perfect Final Four. I had Houston, who was my champion. I got 3 of the 4. 3 of the 4 Final Four teams. And the one that I got wrong was the fucking team I picked to win the national championship. Oh, Houston, why did you have to go? That's a bummer. That's a bummer. What did I end up with here? See, full. Terrible Sweet 16 for your boy. Terrible Sweet 16. Bounce back in the Elite Eight, though. It's always a blast. March Madness is always a blast. It's going to be a sad time to see it go, and then we have to wait over and over and over. But let it be known, next week's show, I'll be giving you that warning. Time to put the PTO in for next March Madness. Okay? You'll have a full year. Put that PTO in for that first weekend of March Madness so you can just rot on the couch for 4 days. Put that PTO in. But the madness is the madness. No one's got a perfect bracket. It just doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Underground Madness 2026 almost coming to a close. The Flyers and Sixers. I'll start with the Flyers. Are they giving us false hope? This team, right when I thought they were out, they pull me back in. They are 2 points out of a playoff spot. 86 points. They're behind the Blue Jackets and the Penguins. 3 points back of the Islanders. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games left. 18 points available remaining. And they're 2 points out of a playoff spot. That win against the Detroit Red Wings on Saturday was massive. Massive. And then they win in overtime on Sunday night against the Dallas Stars. And then you've got the Capitals. You go to D.C. on Tuesday. Then the Red Wings come to Philly on Thursday. Then you're at the Islanders on Friday. Home against the Bruins. That's a big one on Sunday. Then you're at the Devils, at the Red Wings, at the Jets, and then you come home to play the Hurricanes and the Canadiens. NHL playoff pie chart. MoneyPuck.com. Where are the Flyers now? The Flyers have a 25.3% chance to make the playoffs. 25% chance. Are they giving us false hope? Are they doing all of this just to bite us in the ass at the end? I said it all the way back in October. It has been too fucking long since we have had playoff hockey that was fun and meaningful in this town. I need to see Matvei Michkov and Trevor Zegras and Jamie Drysdale and Travis Konechny and this team as a whole just fucking buzzing in the playoffs and being the scrappy underdogs that no one believes in, and us just rally around this team in year 2 of a rebuild and getting to the playoffs on the precipice of them signing Porter Martone to his entry-level contract. I need it. I want to see this team in the playoffs. It has been too long since we have a playoff hockey that was meaningful. 2018, the first year of this podcast, was the last time we had meaningful playoff hockey. I don't count the bubble season because of all the sports. Bubble hockey was fucking banana land. 2018 was the last time this team was in the playoffs and it was like, oh, they could do something, and then they didn't. They fell flat on their faces. This group is building towards something special. They have caught fire. They are right on the doorstep. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. That is the best record in the East of any team, Metropolitan or Atlantic Division, in a last 10-game span. They've won 3 in a row. Are they going to make the playoffs, and is it worth it for them to make the playoffs? Like right now, I feel like it's yes. Like you're not going to justify like getting anything of value draft pick wise by like losing out. Like you're too far deep into where you are right now. Just go to the playoffs. Get this team some experience. I see no harm in that. Go get this team some experience. Porter Martone signed. He's going to be an absolute rock star. And then you add him to the equation of Zegras and Michkov and Konechny and the rest of this young core that you're building. You know, Dvorak's going to be here. Denver Barkey, Owen Tippett, who's got the Dewani bump right now. Alex Bump. I'm all in on the Flyers pushing towards the playoffs. Give me playoff hockey. All right? You look at the standings right now. Take the L, Stevie Mac. The Rangers are not going to be in the playoffs, which is just hysterical. I don't know if the Red Wings are going to be in the playoffs. Let me see here. Picture. The Bruins might be in the playoffs, but the Flyers might overtake them, and that would be awesome because fuck the Bruins. Right now, the Red Wings are not in the playoffs. Boston is. I want them out. I want Pittsburgh out. I want the Islanders out. I would ideally like the Flyers to get in divisional team in the playoffs, and I think that is their one route to success of getting into the playoffs. Where are they at? Let's see. Can I minimize this page to zoom out on this chart? Flyers. Their most ideal way to get in the playoffs is as the third divisional team, which, like, yeah, knock the Penguins out of the playoffs. That'd be fucking awesome. And then you'd play the Islanders or the Penguins, however that shakes out. I mean, like, that would be awesome. That's just, like, good old-fashioned Flyers hockey, playing against one of those two teams that you absolutely hate. Sign me up. And I mean, if the Bruins get in the playoffs and somehow the Flyers win in round one and Boston wins in round one and we get KB versus Patty Pitts, Flyers, Bruins live streams, good night. God, I would be insufferable. I hate the Bruins. That would be incredible. But I'm all in on the Flyers making the playoffs. Give me playoff hockey to root for. I want it. We have not talked playoff hockey on this show since 2018, outside of the bubble. It's been too long. Let's make that happen. I'm all in. I'm pushing the chips in the middle of the table. I'm all in on the Flyers making the playoffs. Let's do it. Let's go on a run, boys. What do you say, lads? Let's go on a run. The Sixers, on the other hand, are fully healthy again, for what that is. Tyrese Maxey's back and absolutely snatching souls on the court. Joel Embiid is playing incredible basketball. Sixers scored 157 points against the Bulls on Wednesday night. Embiid had 35. VJ had 22. Paul George had 28. Tyrese Maxey was not back yet. Maxey came back against the Hornets. Paul George 26, Embiid 29, VJ 13, Maxey 26. The Sixers right now have 8 games remaining. Games included against the Wizards, the Pacers, and the Bucks. So those are 3 games that you should absolutely win. Got to play the Pistons, got to play the Timberwolves, the Spurs, the Rockets, and the Heat. You should probably beat the Heat as well. That's a big game in terms of the standings. The Sixers are a game back of the 5 seed. They're right now in the 7 spot, so they'd be in the play-in. They've clinched a playoff spot, at least for the play-in. So they will be in the playoffs. What they do in the playoffs is completely up to them. I would like to see them get to the 5 spot and have to play the Cavs rather than the Knicks. But they got to be healthy, obviously. And if they're playing the way they are right now, the way they have these past couple of games against the Bulls and against the Hornets, and again, those two are 2 very inferior teams, you got to see them do it against actual talent, where they lost by 20 to Oklahoma City, but they did not have Tyrese Maxey. They did not have Joel Embiid in that game. That was a very duct-taped together lineup that VJ Edgecombe dropped 35 points in 39 minutes, so that was a great sign. But I'd rather the Sixers not be in the play-in and just go right to the playoffs and see what they can do in round 1. Maybe steal a series, and then who knows what happens. You probably get your teeth kicked in by the Celtics, because that's what this team does. And they can't get out of the second round to save their lives. But it's going to be fun to have the potential of both the Sixers and the Flyers in the playoffs while the Phillies are playing baseball. That's always fun. When you have multiple teams in a playoff run, to get behind, it's the start of a Phillies season as well. Just got a lot of things going on. That's always fun. I would like to see that. I'm all in on these teams going on deep playoff runs because guess what? When there's deep playoff runs, it's more for us to talk about on this show and more fun we can have on this show. And who doesn't like having fun? Narcs. That's who doesn't. Absolute narcs. But let me know how you're feeling about the Flyers, the Sixers, the Phillies, the Eagles as the NFL draft quickly approaches in about a month. Leave me a voicemail, speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. We'll react to the voicemails on the show. Leave those voicemails, speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Our Flyers and Sixers talk there brought to you by our friends over at Biñho. Guys, Biñho is the next big tabletop game for your man caves, your tailgates, your parties, your she sheds, what have you. You break out the Biñho board, you're going to be the talk of your event. It is paper football meets foosball for the next big tabletop flicking experience. They've got their World Cup boards available for pre-order right now. They've got officially licensed Philadelphia Union boards and so much more. Use our link in the description so Biñho knows you're coming from us to shop with our friends over at Biñho. And when you go to checkout, use code BiñhoBennett62 and you get 10% off your entire order from our friends at Biñho. Again, that's code BiñhoBennett62 for 10% off when you use our link in the description to shop with Biñho. We thank Biñho for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Upcoming this week, Andrew Painter's debut. I'll be there. I got a sweet ticket. I'm sitting behind home plate for the debut of the big guy. Sixers and Flyers pushing more towards the playoffs. We'll see what Howie Roseman conjures up over the next couple of days as the draft approaches. And the Philadelphia Water Dogs draft is on the horizon as well. In a couple weeks for the PLL. So a lot of stuff to gear up for. Whole lot of baseball remaining. And it's gonna be a fun next couple of months here on the show, here at the company, between what we're doing here covering Philly sports, what Casey and Owen are doing covering F1 and IndyCar, what Deej and I are doing covering the NLL and the PLL and the WLL in the lacrosse world. Christian and I this week should have a breakdown and recap of the first 3 episodes of Daredevil Born Again Season 2, plus our Project Hail Mary review, which I'm very excited to talk about. Love that movie. What else do we have going on? What else am I missing? The Masters will be coming up. Stevie Mack will be coming on as our golf expert to talk Masters. He gave us a little sneak preview when he came on Thursday's show of who he's got winning it all. The most Stephen McAvoy pick. If you know him, you know. And, yeah, we just keep it pushing. Got a lot of fun stuff in the pipe. Keep tuning in. Keep following us on the socials at Underground PHI. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Helps the show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia, plus our entire catalog at Underground Industries. Oh, also, like, WrestleMania is coming up, so Patty Pitts is in his prime. You don't want to miss any of that. The road to WrestleMania on the house show with Patty Pitts. But keep subscribing. Underground Sports Philadelphia on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. We are at 1,273 subscribers. Keep subscribing. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and ring that bell icon. Please ring it. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 833 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. We will be back on Thursday breaking down the Phils. I'll be talking about Andrew Painter's debut. We'll talk Flyers as they push towards the playoffs. We'll talk Sixers. We'll talk whatever comes to mind. We'll see if we can get a guest on the show as well. But until then, keep following, keep subscribing, keep believing, because we got high hopes up in this piece. But I'll talk to you all on Thursday. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace.